Ahoy there, me hearties. It's Kerry, Piscean Pirate Queen, down at my Sacred Heart Soul Care Centre at Christie's Beach, coming to you today with the full moon in Virgo forecast. The full moon is taking place on the 7th of March 2023 at 11:10 p.m. Australian Central Daylight Time, and that'll be half an hour later in the eastern states, and you just need to adjust your time to wherever you are in the world. So when the moon is full, it's always opposite the sun. So I'm just going to show you the chart so that you can have a look for yourself. And I'll try and get that so that you can see it. I can't see much because I don't have my pirate specs on yet. But up here we have the moon, and that's at 17 degrees of Virgo. It says 16 and something else, but then we round that up to the next degree, especially as it relates to Sabian symbols, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. Now down here we have the sun, and the sun is at 17 degrees of Pisces, and right next to it we have the planet Neptune, and Neptune's at 24 degrees of Pisces, and this degree is important as well. We round that up to the 25th degree, which is about the purging of the priesthood, and I really want to talk to you about this because we're in a time of great change at the moment, and one of the things about this degree is purging of thoughts that don't serve our highest good. We can have all kinds of thoughts, limiting beliefs, etc. And the meaning of this symbol is actually about eradicating thoughts from your consciousness that don't serve your highest good. So if you want some help with that, get in touch. But just in terms of this full moon is really about releasing and letting go whatever it is that no longer serves your highest good, and it will happen in quite a dramatic way. And the reason it's going to be dramatic is because 17 degrees of Virgo, the Sabian symbol associated with that degree is volcanic eruption, which sounds very dramatic, doesn't it? And if you'd like more information on Sabian symbols, Mr. James Burgess has a website called jamesburgess.com, and he is fabulous in terms of all of the meanings and explanations you might have in terms of the Sabian symbols. So what does it mean for you? What does it mean for the average person? Well, full moons are a good opportunity to release things no longer serving our highest good. And if you'd like some help devising a ritual, or you'd like to purchase one of my soul care kits, then get in touch via my website, www.sacredheartsoulcarecentre.com. and I can help you to either devise a ritual. I can sell you one of these little kits which has all of the elements that you need to devise your own ritual, and all packed in there, handmade. So the fire, the earth, the air and the water. Okay, so what does it mean in terms of the global scale, the world? Alright, so in terms of the volcanic eruption, what it means is it's an opportunity to create new beginnings. Right? Even though full moons are about releasing and letting go, this volcanic eruption is actually symbolic of the process that happens in our psyche when pressure builds up, when people aren't being real, or they're compromising, or they're just working through something, okay? And so sometimes there's no resolution and the pressure builds up, and all of a sudden you've got this kind of like volcanic eruption. So if you find that's happening in your life, don't be too alarmed. This is going to be a high pressure full moon. The other reason is that on a global scale we have the planet Pluto and the planet Saturn both at the anaretic degree. So what that means is the anaretic degree is the final degree of that sign. So we've got Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, and the meaning of the anaretic degree there is a board of directors meets in secret. So we've seen lots of changes going on the world stage involving our leaders and the people who rule over us, and this degree is basically about the final death rattles, if you like, of the old way. So when Pluto moves into Aquarius, which will be in the third week in March 2023, and it'll stay in there for a while and come back in for Capricorn for a last little hoo-ha before it chuffs off forever. Well, not forever, but for our lifetime. Anyway, a couple of 100 years or more. And so we're going to have a complete restructure of how we're governed, really, on a global scale. The other planet is Saturn, and that's at the anaretic degree of Aquarius. So it's in the final degree of Aquarius, which we would call 30 degrees of Aquarius. And this is about blooming fields. And we think about fields, you can think about them in a few different ways. You can think of a field, like a paddock or a common area, or you could think of energy fields. And because Aquarius is an air sign, I'm going to relate this to energy fields. So it's about taking responsibility for how we use our energy and how we send out energy, and sometimes we do that completely unconsciously. So it's pulling your thoughts back in, dropping back down into your heart, so that you, if you've got some dispute with someone, you're not kind of in there in your head sending out crazy missiles and stuff like that. Actually back down there in your heart, trying to stay centered on a soul level with that person. So that's one thing. The other thing is Virgos are very associated with the body, healing, and with perfectionism. And sometimes people with the Virgo archetype may actually forget that their idea of perfect is not necessarily everyone else's idea of perfect. So whilst it's good to aspire to perfection, everyone has a different idea of what's perfect. So just remember to apply your idea of perfection to your life rather than imposing it onto others, because we each have our own individual journey that we're here for, and we want to enjoy it harmoniously with the people around us. I once did a consult for husband and wife, one after the other. They were both Virgos, and each one of them complained about how pedantic and picky and so on the partner was. And when I explained to them that Virgos have an ideal about perfection, but it's their ideal, it kind of like you could see something clicked inside of each of them, so that they're able to reconsider how they interact with each other, which we all need to do from time to time. So anyway, if you would like any assistance with doing a ritual or with some soul care, I offer healings and readings, and also fun art and craft activities down here at my soul care centre. That's what it's about for me, all about having fun and just enjoying your life, irrespective of what other people think. The sun is currently in the sign of Pisces, and during this full moon it's in the degree of 17 degrees of Pisces, which the Sabian symbol meaning for this degree is an Easter promenade. So if you think about an Easter promenade, you could think about a pageant, and the pageant is about dressing up and parading around, showing everyone an image of yourself. And we all do this to varying degrees, in our job, with our friends, out in public, if we need to perform. It's all about creating an image of who we think we are, so that we will impress ourselves on the world in some way. And it's not necessarily reflective of who we truly are inside, but it's talking about that process. So on the one hand, you have the sun, which is displaying people showing themselves in a public kind of way, how they would behave. And then opposite this, we've got this moon where this pressure's built up, and a volcanic eruption of some sort just kind of lets all that go. So don't be surprised if you do have a pretty intense full moon period. I'd just like to add in for the ladies that the day after this full moon is International Women's Day. And over here, I have a lot of little spiritual products and things that just objects of meaning. So here we have a little Virgo symbol, and this is something that I found and just updated. I like to find things in op shops and garage sales and just little treasures of little original things around the place. So if we think about the concept of the Virgin in the women's mysteries is actually a woman who is completely independent and not owned by a man. So this was a pre-Christian concept of what a virgin is. And if we look at the aspects of the moon, under the mysteries of the triple goddess, we have the Virgin, the Mother, and the Crone. So they're the three kind of symbols associated with the moon in her various stages. So just wanting to remind everyone that Virgo, being the sign of the Virgin, is also the sign of the Mother, because we think about the collective symbolism for Mary, the mother of Christ, if we want to look at the archetype in that way, and that's a very common archetype throughout our society for the last couple of thousand years, but it does predate Christianity, of course. Most of these myths and symbols are very long term, and they get reworked and revised. But just wanted to wish all the ladies a happy International Women's Day for the 8th of March, and to remind everyone that the production of life, the creation of babies, is something also very associated with the sign of Virgo. We think of Virgo in terms of the abundance of nature that keeps coming forth for us. And so we're getting a real sense of the earthiness of this full moon. And when a volcano explodes or erupts, we get molten lava spewing out, and then it kind of settles down and cools. And it's very, very intense. It's not something that we can be around while it's happening. Sometimes we have to have some distance from it. So if you find that you've got people around you that are feeling volatile or whatever, just take a breather, go for a walk in the country or something, or be around the earth in some way that suits your sensibility. We are all very different in that regard. And so I would like to wish you a happy full moon. And as I said, if you'd like some help with your spiritual growth or your spiritual journey, just get in touch, and I will be back with another full... Oh no, before I go, I was just going to do a little Virgo toast for the full moon. And I was going to draw a card from my druidic deck. I'll see if I can get my cards without turning around. Okay, so here we go. And see if I can see this card without my pirate specs. Okay. Aha. So look at this. Oh my God. Some people get very excited and scared about this card, but we've got the Death card. So this is about endings, things ending, and transformation, because we can't have transformation without endings. And death is the ultimate reminder, we're not here for long. Live your best life, guys, and expect change. That's the only thing that's certain in life. And it's been lovely jiving with you. Hope to hear from you. Bye.